Because a lot of these organizations, a lot of these jobs, employers, they're not always loyal to you. Now, that leads us into our first story that we're going to be talking about today, and that is DeMar DeRozan. Now, if you haven't seen the interview that was posted by ESPN with DeMar DeRozan, you should definitely check it out. It's about 21 minutes long, but it's definitely worth those 21 minutes. And you see a lot of emotions from DeMar DeRozan during that interview. And a lot of the main things that you get is that how he felt disrespected by the Raptors organization, mainly, general manager Masai Ujiri. And he also said he wasn't treated with the respect that he deserved. Now, DeMar DeRozan played 9 years for the Toronto Raptors, an organization known for their players leaving. You look at Chris Bosh. As soon as he had the opportunity to leave, he left. Tracy McGrady, he left once he got the opportunity. Vince Carter, he also decided to leave once he got the opportunity. So for Toronto, you would think they would be appreciative of DeMar DeRozan. Yes, maybe you want to shake things up after you lost to LeBron James yet again in the playoffs. But the Raptors, they were a #1 seed. They were one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and they only lost to one team, and that star player of that team decided to leave out the conference entirely. So now you had an opportunity this season, although you already fired your coach. You had an opportunity this season maybe to put things together. Maybe you have an opportunity now to reach the NBA Finals, that destination that has been eluding you, but you were always right there knocking at the doorstep to try to get in to that opportunity, and you had that opportunity. But now when you find a way to get out of that, and ultimately this decision came down to you not wanting to pay DeMar DeRozan long term because you don't think you could get the job done with DeMar DeRozan, you took that opportunity to get out of that contract. That's why you made the trade for Kawhi Leonard. I don't think the Toronto Raptors plan on Kawhi Leonard staying. I don't think he will stay. So I think this essentially was a salary cap dump to get out of that DeMar DeRozan contract because you don't think he could take you to that championship. And that's fine. As an organization, you're going to want to do what's best for the organization, and you're also going to want to try to win championships. But the way this whole situation happened, he came up to you. He did so much for your organization. He's the only player, when he had the opportunity to leave, who stayed with your organization. Not only did he stay, he didn't even take another meeting. When he was a free agent in 2016, a lot of people thought he would go to L.A. He's from Compton, L.A., Lakers, hometown team. They have enough money to pay him. He didn't even take a meeting with the Los Angeles Lakers. He immediately re-signed and stayed in Toronto. So when he talks to you at Summer League, when his agent is calling you throughout the offseason, just asking, is there any way that we may be traded? Are some of these rumors correct? And you repeatedly tell him no. I think he deserves at least enough respect to at least say, if the right offer is presented, maybe we might go in this direction. Maybe we may ship him out. But he doesn't get that at all. So nobody looks towards the Raptors or really Masai Ujiri and say they did DeMar DeRozan wrong. At least not the masses of the people. But as soon as DeMar DeRozan decides to maybe leave the Raptors, say he left the Raptors in 2016, he would have been villainized at that point for leaving that team. Now, maybe, yes, you're sitting there thinking it's not the same thing. Kevin Durant went to a much better team. But look at Kevin Durant's situation as well. He had an owner and a general manager that wasn't really willing to pay. You lost James Harden because you didn't want to pay about $4 million total. Not per season, total. So you lost out on a player, and you looked at what the moves that were being made at that point by OKC. You weren't getting a better team. They weren't putting better players around you. It was literally Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook trying to carry the team every single time. So when he's in a situation where maybe he has a coach that will utilize his play style a little bit better, you have owners who are trying to win and trying to put a better team together. He took that opportunity. LeBron James did the exact same thing. Cleveland, they were not putting together a great team around him when he left to Miami the first time. When he had opportunity, to get better players around him, he took that opportunity because it would better his career, better his legacy, and what he wanted to do for himself. DeMar DeRozan, he wanted to help out the Toronto Raptors. He remained loyal to that organization, but once they got the opportunity to get out of that, they took that opportunity and they got out of that whole DeMar DeRozan contract and situation. And I don't think a lot of fans really look at the NBA as a business, as is in real life. If you could take a better job because it's better pay or a better location or whatever the case is for you and your family, NBA players deserve the right to do the same without all of a sudden being a villain, especially when it's not, the feeling's not the same way on the other side when it comes to organizations. And Raptors fans are probably still going to be Raptors fans. That's how a lot of this works. But at the same time, you got to understand this is, I guess, a part of life in the sense you're not going to question the higher authority. But a lot of these players, I think they need to catch a little bit of slack when it comes to them leaving, because by the end of the day, 70% of the NBA the last few years, in terms of players, they have changed teams already, and still nobody's looking at the organizations. Now, when we go and look at another player who now has to make a decision, we're looking at